Good day and welcome back. And today, well, I'm going to do a little more elaborate video on something that I covered in my last one, and it wasn't about doing up your cinch, but storing your Latigo. The more I thought about it, the more I thought, I really wish somebody had shown me that years ago because that's such a great way of doing things. And I thought I'd do a little more elaborate video on it. I'll give you some close-ups and show you how I do it exactly. It's real simple, but boy, is it ever handy. Saves you time, effort, and it's a lot of other advantages. I'll talk about them too in a minute. But right now I want to talk a little bit just before I get started. For those of you that have YouTube accounts, that your number of views and watch time and all that stuff actually matters. You might want to keep an eye on your videos. I don't know what happened. I don't get any money for mine. So I think it was just a little glitch in the system, but all of a sudden I noticed one. Didn't check them all. Could have been a lot more that this happened to, but one of my videos suddenly lost about 2/3 of its views. And not sure why that happened, but anyhow, that is what happened. Keep an eye on it if it matters to you. To me, it doesn't much matter. I don't get paid for my videos anyhow, so I don't really care. I just thought I'd mention it in case it does matter to some of you. Anyhow, glad you could make it. I hope this is helpful because it sure was for me. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here and so you can see what we're doing because I want to show you this because, man, this is just so handy to know. It's not real elaborate. It's not a huge secret. There are a few people that do it this way, but not a lot actually. Most people are still doing it the way it used to be done, and well, the way I used to do it. Anyhow, I'll show you. Just give me a second and I'll zoom you in there and you can get a better look at what I'm doing. Okay, we got you zoomed in a little bit better there. I think we're probably going to have to adjust that a couple of times as we go along here because I'm not sure exactly what you can see. And for some of it, I think I might have to give you a little bit different view. Okay, now what I got here is my Latigo. I don't think I need to let my cinch down for this. In fact, I don't even need a horse for this, which is why I don't have one in here today. And I want to show you how we do this. It's real simple. And for storing it, now, the way it used to be done, or the way I used to do it, and a lot of people still do, is you go around and around and around and around, and depending on how small you want this package, that determines how many times you got to go around. Then, of course, when you want to use the thing, you have to undo that loop, and again, and again. In the meantime, what's happening as you're doing this is this tail end is hitting the ground all the time. Every time you bring it down, it's hitting the ground. Now, depending, if it's rain, snow, mud, or maybe feces and urine if you're in a box stall or something, the end of your Latigo could wind up getting pretty wet and maybe even a little stinky and not real pleasant, just generally dirty and everything else because it's constantly ending up on the ground because even if you got a fairly tall horse, this thing is long enough to easily reach the ground. But if you do it the way I do it now, that's not much of a risk. Now, I got my saddle elevated a little bit, but still not as high as it normally would be for a horse, so I could probably still touch the ground with it. But I'll show you how we do it. We just take a length of this thing. Doesn't have to be an exact amount. You'll get the hang of this after you do it a few times. And I just lift the ring up a little. If it's fairly rigid, you can't do that, but you can pull it out enough you can get in behind. And you feed it through as a loop. You hang on to this one that's still hanging down, and then you just pull this up and down until it approximately matches your other one. Now, at which point, you still got a tail hanging down here, and you take that, and hopefully I can do this so you can see it. Just wrap it around once and feed it through like that. I hope you can see that good. And then you just pull it up tight like that. That's not a super secure knot, but, Unless that saddle's getting handled an awful lot, it's not going to come undone. It's going to stay there real nice. It's not going anywhere. And it's still quite easy to undo. You just stick one finger in there, pull it loose. You got your end. And this is where it's really nice, is you don't have to unravel it all and then have it ending up on the ground. You just feed it through your cinch. Here's the part where we actually do need a cinch. I'm just going to feed this one under the saddle stand. Pretend it's on a horse. Bring it up the other side there. There we go. Okay. So I'm just going to take this loose end. And if you watched my last video, you saw me do this. You just feed it through your cinch, and then you just pull up, and it just all comes off that ring, and you're ready to go. It never touches the ground. Then you can just feed it through again, and so on. And when you're all done, as you take it out of the cinch, just keep this end up off the ground. Keep lifting it up by the other part. And there's your cinch. And then you just, with the loose end in your other hand so it doesn't end up in the dirt, you just feed it up through there. And there you go. It doesn't get anywhere near the ground. Just wrap it once around, leave that open like that. You just pull it up tight. There you go, done. And several main advantages of this is, first off, it never ends up on the ground, so it doesn't get dirty, wet, smelly, whatever. And the other thing is, it's just way easier and much faster. The length of time it takes somebody else to undo their Latigo from, if they got it all coiled up, well, you can have yours undone, and you can have your cinch all done up, and be ready to go riding before they've even got theirs untied from the ring. So there you go. I actually learned that from watching somebody else's video. There's a few guys that do it this way, but it's not, I don't know, maybe 25% of the people do it this way now. It seems to be catching on a bit, but nobody ever showed me how. And, man, I tell you, I wish somebody had showed me that trick years ago, because easy as can be, keeps this thing up off the ground. One guy that does it, he said one of the reasons he likes it is because when you're saddling up and unsaddling several horses a day, it's just way nicer and faster, and keeps this up off the ground so it stays clean. And to him, it's a trick of the trade kind of thing for what he does. And well, even if you only saddle up one horse, I still think it's a pretty darn nice way of doing things. I sure like it, and I hope you've got it figured out there, because I don't know if I can show you any better. Like I say, you just do it one more time just to make sure you got it, or make sure you can see it. I don't know. Hard to tell with the camera. And of course, like I said, this saddle sitting on a stand is much lower than it would be on a horse, so there's a chance his tail can touch the ground, but we're in a fairly clean environment here, so it doesn't matter. But so I'm actually going to just let it go down, much easier. But I'm going to just, I hold on to this so that it holds the ring out. It also stops this from pulling up through, so I can just feed this up through from behind. I suppose you could probably do it the other way. I don't know. I haven't tried. I'd get confused. And then you just pull that down to it. So you got two loops, one on the inside of your ring and one on the outside of the ring, that are approximately the same length. And if you don't get it right, or you don't have enough loose tail, you can always adjust them a little until you get the hang of it. And even if you do it quite a bit. And then this piece that's hanging down, you just bring it out over. I'm just going to I stick my finger in there just to hold it open like that. I just bring it around from behind once, stick it through that, and just pull it up like that. There, done. It's that quick and easy. It's it's, like I said, it's much quicker, it's much easier, and prevents your Latigo from hanging down on the ground and getting all wet and dirty, and possibly even a little stinky too. So I hope that helps you out a little. So I hope that was a useful little bit of information there. I don't know, like I said, after watching my last video, I just thought that part, I just had to do that again, because Man, that's one of the greatest things that I've ever learned. I mean, it's a silly little thing, it seems like sometimes, but it's one of the greatest things that I've learned, and I just thought, you know what, I got to share that. I wish somebody showed me years ago. Anyhow, if you find that or any other information that I give you in any of these videos, feel free to subscribe. And don't just hit the subscribe button. You also got to do the one beside it where there's a little bell and then click on all so you get the notifications every time there's a new video. And if there's anything in any of these videos that you think might be worth sharing, feel free to copy and paste a link from one of my videos. Put it in an email, put it on social media, wherever your friends are going to see it that you think that it's going to be helpful for them. And if you want, you can even copy the link from my channel and they can watch all of my videos if they so desire. But again, if you got any requests, things you want me to talk about, make a suggestion. Make a comment down below in the comment section. I do have a few people that regularly make comments, but actually not a whole lot. Rest assured, if you make a comment, I will read it. And, well, there's no such thing as a silly comment. You can say whatever you want. If you think I'm nuts, that's okay. You can say that too. If you got a request, you can say that. Whatever you want. Wonderful. That's what the comment section's for, so please feel free to use it. And like I said, got a request, let me know, and I'll see what I can do. Have a good day.